Being able to speak well in front of a camera has completely changed my life. This skill has allowed me to grow my channel and my personal brand to the point where I can now do this full time and nomad around Southeast Asia. I'm gonna go through 3 ways that you can immediately improve your speaking on YouTube so that you can sound way more natural and like yourself, and this is really gonna help you build a real and stronger connection with your audience, be super confident speaking in front of a camera, and just help you sound way more engaging in your videos. Good morning, guys. So we're finally back to posting content after a 3 months break. I did write a post on my YouTube community page just to explain like where I've been and why I disappeared for so long, but TLDR is basically I've just been creating a bunch of course material for my coaching clients and my program. So for those of you guys who are new here, welcome. My name's Tika. I have been traveling in Southeast Asia for the past 8 months on my digital nomad journey, and I've been living in Da Nang in Vietnam for the past 5 months. I've sort of like turned this place into a home base because, to be honest, I just really got tired of like moving around a lot and moving into a new Airbnb every month, and it was just exhausting. And so I was really happy when I found an apartment here and just decided to stick to one place a bit more medium to long term. Honestly, like living here has been really, really great. It's like a beach city. That is why we are here at the beach today. This place is called Simple Beach. Really like nice place. The first video that I ever filmed on a beach here in Da Nang, you guys went absolutely crazy for it. Like you loved the format of it, how it was like, you know, vlog style type video. And to be honest, I think it was really fun like showing you guys my environment. And I did think to myself like, man, I'm on this whole digital nomad journey, but I'm not really showing much of it on YouTube, especially because like I document my journey in terms of like my YouTube learnings and stuff, but I don't really do much of documenting my actual life, which is what people are really interested in. And yeah, like I realized traveling is such a huge part of my life now, and it's kind of strange to not share it with you. Yeah, that's why I started filming at locations like these. It's way more fun than just filming in my room. So yeah, gonna find a nice shady spot to sit down and start yapping. So if you're struggling to speak in front of a camera, it's probably because you're uncomfortable, like physically uncomfortable. And I remember when I first started filming for YouTube, I did feel the need to have like a very professional background and professional filming set, because that's what I saw all the self-improvement YouTubers doing, and that was the kind of content I was making when I first started out. And I would film in front of my desk, and I had like this boom arm mic that I bought, and whenever I put it in front of me, like I wouldn't be able to move much, because if I knocked it over just slightly, like nudged it, then it would fall over because it was a cheap boom arm mic, and yeah, it couldn't hold its own weight. So I needed to have it in like a really specific position, and if I moved at all, then I would knock into it. Yeah, because of that, like I had to stay in such a rigid position, and obviously that made me super uncomfortable because I couldn't really move my body freely, and I couldn't even like use my arms too much, because if it knocks the mic, then it's game over. So things like that I think really make a difference when it comes to filming your videos. And I remember setting up the backdrop for my videos, like having my plant exactly in the part of the frame that I want it to be, and having like little props on the table. Like that's not what my table would normally look like when I was working from home, or just basically how it is usually. I would engineer my background to make it look perfect and as aesthetic as possible. And I remember it would just take me so long to set up for my videos. Yeah, the whole environment that I was filming in just felt super unnatural and just uncomfortable to be in. And so of course like that came across in my delivery. I felt like, okay, everything needs to be like super perfect and professional, and so the way that I come across needs to be perfect and professional too, and super, super polished. And what I got in aesthetics and professionalism was at the cost of sounding more authentic and like myself, which is I think what people appreciate way more when it comes to social media. And then somewhere along my journey, I started to make vlogs because I wanted to document the journey of like quitting my job and moving to Australia, and then my digital nomad journey. And so the first vlog that I ever really did was when I first moved to Australia. What I noticed was that when I was walking around and talking to the camera, I would watch the clips back and think like, wow, I sound so comfortable and so natural and so like myself here. And that was when everything clicked. I was like, oh my God, I've been doing YouTube and filming on hard mode this entire time. And when I moved to Da Nang, like on my digital nomad journey, that's when I decided to just start filming at the beach and filming at cafes and stuff. then honestly, like those videos have gotten a lot of traction, and I've gotten so many comments from people saying how, they really like this chill vlog vibe. And I think you guys can get a sense of my personality way more when I'm out in these sort of filming environments. And that's why I'm here today, because it's just so much more natural and feels so much more comfortable when I'm outside and in this sort of environment. So my point is, you need to be able to feel your best in order to give your best. And so if you feel uncomfortable and if you feel stuffy, or the environment you're in feels really suffocating, then it's going to take a lot of effort to force yourself to sound like you're happy and, comfortable and natural in front of the camera. And so I'd recommend just engineering your filming environment in such a way that you do feel really comfortable, whether that's, having an iced latte with you when you're filming, or just sitting down on the carpet in your room instead of in your professional studio backdrop or whatever. Just finding out what that comfortable environment is for you and then using that for your filming. And one last thing to round off this point, if you are always uncomfortable whenever you film, then you're going to really start hating the process. And if you hate the process, you're not going to be consistent with making YouTube videos, and the journey is just not going to be sustainable for you. And by the way, if you are a small YouTuber and you want to grow faster, attract the right audience, gain clarity around your content, and eventually turn YouTube into a sustainable income source, then my Creator Accelerator program was designed to help you do exactly that. If you wanted to find out more, you can check out the link in the description below and apply if it feels right for you. And also, I launched a free school community. I do live Q&As here, so you can just turn up, ask your content questions, or just come and hang out with other YouTubers at the same stage of the journey as you. So the second thing that helped me was I stopped over scripting. For the first year and a half of my YouTube journey, I would script my videos word for word. Not only did this make the scripting process a lot more difficult and time-consuming and just more effortful, it also made my filming sessions a lot harder. So the way I would do it is I would read a line, memorize it, regurgitate it back to the camera, and if I messed up even one word or I felt like I didn't follow the script exactly, then I would redo the take. And you can imagine I redid those takes multiple times over. It made the filming process so much more frustrating, and also it just made me sound so unnatural, because it's really hard to sort of write in your own voice. It's a very difficult thing for people to do, and it takes a lot of practice. I found this with my newsletter writing. It took me a few months at least to start getting my own tone right and being able to capture that in written word. And so what I do now is whenever I script, I just write in bare bones bullet points, all the main things that I want to get across, and then I would just riff off of those bullet points when I'm filming. Right now, I don't have a script. I literally just for each chapter that I have for this video, I only have a few bullet points to summarize what I want to say. And when I started doing it this way, not gonna lie, it did take me a few months to actually get used to this new process and to get better at riffing off of my points, because I was so used to relying on a word-for-word script that the moment I didn't have anything to fall back on, it did make me very nervous, and I would sort of go off tangent a lot. To be very honest, it does take quite a bit of practice, but I assure you, it's very worth it, and I'm so glad that I don't do it the way that I used to now. Filming is just so much easier for me now. I just feel so much more comfortable in front of the camera, and it just comes across way more naturally, because this is just how I speak. And the real here is that there is no shortcut to this. You just really have to do so many reps and so much practice in order to get comfortable at it. I think everyone's sort of looking for a silver bullet solution, or an easy hack to make filming easier or make talking in front of a camera easier, but truly it is just putting in the practice and doing it for a very long time. So if you guys are curious about how I actually script for my videos, stick with me till the last chapter, because I will go through my story point framework, and it's a very easy framework that I use for every single one of my scripts, and it helps me do it in a fifth of the time. So final thing is to teach in stories. Now, storytelling is such an underrated skill when it comes to the education YouTuber space. And honestly, when I was first learning about, how to grow a personal brand and everything, I would hear people saying you need to master the skill, you need to know how to storytell, you need to be a master storyteller. And I would think to myself, why? What does that have anything to do with business? And if I'm not an entertainment YouTuber, then what's really the point? Am I an author now? But actually, this is so key in making your videos videos way more engaging. And also in my school community, you're always asking me like, how do I increase my views and increase my retention? And this is exactly how you do it. So I have this scripting framework called the story point framework. So basically I would split my videos into chapters, like how I did in this video. And then for each chapter, I would have 2 sections. Section 1 would be story. Section 2 would be point. Story would make up about 80 to 90% of that chapter. And that's basically where I talk through a story that helps to illustrate the point that I'm trying to make. And the remaining 10 to 20% of the video would be the conclusion or like the final takeaway, like the key learning from that chapter. The reason why this is so effective is because the human brain actually learns in stories. We are not actually wired to remember facts and statistics and numbers. Like for example, if I were to ask you to memorize the full number for pi, you'd probably be able to do it, but it would take a lot of effort and a lot of like practicing and memorization and just repeating the numbers again and again to yourself to really like brand it into your memory. Whereas like if I asked you, hey, what was the last movie you watched? Even if it was like 2 weeks ago, you probably would be able to tell me exactly what the whole plot was, what it was about, how the movie ended, and you would be able to do that no problem. And so that really goes to show that, you know, the human brain is able to retain information better when it has like a story that it can latch onto. And so if you're an educational YouTuber and you're teaching people something online, like storytelling is such a powerful tool. I mean, number one, not only does it make your content more engaging, but number two, it actually helps your viewers to retain that information better. So it does make you a better teacher. And for the story part, I would really recommend for you to just take stories and experiences and anecdotes from your own personal life, because the other benefit of this is that it helps your viewers gain more of a personal insight into you and your life and your personality and your experiences. And ultimately that builds a deeper connection with your audience and helps to build your personal brand at the same time. So really, it's just such a no-brainer to be doing this. Rounding off this point, basically, don't be boring, teach in stories. It'll make you a better teacher, improve your retention, and also help you build a stronger connection with your audience. It really is just win-win-win. All right, thank you for watching. If you did want more videos on how to speak better on camera and on YouTube, I did recently upload a video called How to Stop Overthinking and Just Talk to the Damn Camera. So you can check that out on the screen here. Okay guys, take care and see you in the next video.